Please! She's the bunny that saved my life yesterday!
Even Ethan Hawke laughs at the ex machina coincidence of this.
Thank you, Cinema Sins. For those of you who've watched my videos, I don't know if you've noticed, but I kind of like Zootopia. I kind of think it's one of the best films of recent years. I kind of don't think I've seen a family film that manages to be so entertaining and charming, and yet so dark and upsetting. And of course, it has two of my favorite characters ever. Judy and Nick make the best team ever. Nick is very clever and charming, and Judy is very sweet and kind, but also tough and brave. And she is a good role model, someone who doesn't give up and implores other animals to try, and yet it would appear that she and Nick wouldn't be alive for one reason, and it wasn't because they tried. It was because of sheer dumb luck.
Sheer dumb luck.
So, we all remember the scene where Judy and Nick inadvertently find themselves in the car belonging to Mr. Big, who is known around as the most feared crime boss in Tundertown. And we find out...
I may have sold him a very expensive wool rug that was made from the fur of a skunk. But...
Oh, sweet cheese and crackers.
which Mr. Big did not take well.
I am a cop, and I'm on the Emmett Otterton case, and my evidence puts him in your car.
You know, I will admit, Judy is kind of a dumb bunny. It may seem like the ethical decision to stand up to someone especially notoriously big in crime, but what did she think was gonna happen? So, at first, I thought the idea was they're gonna drop him in there, and Judy and Nick are gonna have to get out of there before they get hypothermized. But as it so happens...
No! Please! She's the bunny that saved my life yesterday! From that giant donut!
Some of you may say, well, Judy saved Frou-Frou's life, and good comes back to her. Well, I say we shouldn't teach people, and especially kids, that if your life is in danger, just wait for someone else to come along. What if the shrew Judy saved wasn't Mr. Big's daughter? It is an incredibly big coincidence, and if they do anything to acknowledge it at all, it's just that look on Nick's face, nothing more. But then again, it could open up a lot of possibilities for sequels. Think about it. Judy Hopps may be polite and idealistic, but now she's working with the Mafia. She's a corrupt cop. Imagine if the ZPD figured that out. What if one of the sequels focused on the issues of police brutality? What if Judy tried to stand up to it and then realized, you're working with a crime boss, what makes you any better? What if Chief Bogo's opinion of her dampens because of it? He may say, the only reason you still have your job, the only reason you've come this far, the only reason you're still alive, it's not because you're a capable officer. It's not because anything you say or do is ethical. It's not because you try. It's sheer dumb luck. Which, again, is a closed-minded mindset, but that's Bogo for you. And what if Judy and Nick were forced to admit their alliance with Mr. Big? I don't think the shrew would take kind to that either. I bet he'd bring them back to his room and they'd be right back where they were in the first film. But maybe Judy and Nick now realize. They both try to be idealistic, but they still supported a master criminal. They never wanted to be part of that world, but they wound up there. So this time, they do get iced, and they won't have an ex machina coincidence to fall back on this time. They gotta get out of there themselves. But knowing Judy and Nick, I bet they could.